Hi, everyone. Okay, so I want to talk a little about David. I know David from Occupy. What I was doing in Occupy was I was actually coordinating with the media, a lot of the media. We were doing a lot of the live streams from the square and also all the video stuff and so on. And we're trying to tell the message from the square. We're trying to empower the folks in the square to tell what's going on to the world. And David was obviously one of the people who was doing a lot of the philosophy behind our movement. So the thing about David, which is very interesting, and actually a lot of speakers touched upon this leading up to this, is that a lot of the work David did was not exactly lauded by the establishment, even including some of the institutions he worked for. For example, the way Yale University got rid of him is a perfect example. So something interesting happened when this event was being planned, or this event came together, because museums of the Queen Sofia of Madrid, which is pretty much like the Spanish state, contacted Nika 6 months ago. Is that correct? You correct me.
No. So
explain what happened.
Okay, so we contacted museums and our art friends, and they very nicely agreed to help, and they tried to help us for months, like really working and trying to do their best, pay insurance for us, and were really kind, but still we didn't get the permission. We're puzzling why, because
it's not puzzling. Okay, so different opinions.
No, we're puzzled because it was so innocent. What we try to do, and hopefully we will be able to do it in London. But
okay,
yeah, so it's not like.
Right. No, but last years, this
no, let's just
there's no permissions in Madrid.
The thing is,
this kind of event.
The issue is that we got to this event, and a few days ago, we found out that the city of Madrid, the government of Madrid, is going to ban chalking on the street. This is why they approved a neo-Nazi parade to the gay neighborhood of Madrid last weekend. So, okay, of course, when I was one of the persons who wrote the whole list and called bullshit, I'm sorry if I offended anyone. But the reality is, it's very interesting actually that Davis Memorial happened here, the physical part of it, happened here today in Madrid of all places. Because Madrid is kind of like, I mean, aside from Hungary, maybe, it's like the fascist center of Europe. It is the center of gentrification. I mean, the downtown Madrid is destroyed. The only thing left is tourists carrying bags to the Airbnbs, €1 beers, all the artists are gone. I mean, they're still there, but they're being displaced. And you have this huge gentrification thing, but it's on steroids. And it's basically, and you have this whole Trumpian thing going on, when even like the left-wing neighborhoods are voting to the right wing and so on. And you have this whole ethos of just make more money, blah, 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 blah. But you know, the false capitalism. This is the temple of it. I mean, not this physical space itself. The space was offered by the community, and it's one of the last remaining amazing community gardens in Madrid that we're actually hosting this in. So anyway, the important thing is that this memorial, this government, the fascist government of Madrid, tried to ban the memory of David. And we should take that in a sense almost as a victory, because if someone needs to try to ban the memory, that means what he stood for, what he worked for, what he accomplished is actually threatening the model. So I'll say that. Another thing is I'm a New Yorker, and I'm actually here in Spain because like as things turn out after Occupy, and as I was doing all this other work related to Black Lives Matter and so on, but US government decided to designate me and my wife as terrorists. And we've had all kinds of crazy adventures, right? And so one of the important things in all of this is solidarity. And it's when I'm going to urge people and think about it for a second, that like when you go through this hard kind of struggles, when you go through these fights, it's very important when you look next to yourself, your comrades, you can count on them. So I would actually tell people to reflect, and this is why, and it's kind of serious, and this is no joke. You need to be able to count on people who are next to you. And if you can't, if you suddenly find yourself, if you're surrounded by hypocrites or whatever, You have a real problem. So leave it at that. But anyway, David did amazing work. He coined the world, that phrase, we are the 99%, was the ultimate like collection of, a sentiment of unity that united us. So that's like just that by itself, aside from all his ideological work he did, is a huge thing in itself. So I want to salute David. I want to salute all of you who came here today. And who wants to speak next?